Hi learners and welcome to lesson 3. Today we are factorizing cubic functions. We know that when we factorize cubic functions we use the kx method or the long division method, but a lot of you are familiar with the long division method other than the kx method, which is quite complicated. So for the sake of this lesson, let us go and do the long division one. Now let's go back and do revision based on long division. Let's say we have 562. Okay, so this is what we do. As we did that in grade 8, we have to say grade 7, we have to say daddy, mommy, sister, brother, which stands for division, multiplication, subtract, and then bring down. Okay, bring down. So this is what we do now. We have to say 5 divided by 3. How many times does 3 get into 5? It goes one time. Okay, the remainder doesn't matter, it goes one time. Okay, so now we multiply. We have to say 3 multiplied by 1, which is 3, and then this is what we do. Okay, so now we subtract. Remember to put a sign here to show the subtraction. Now we have to say 5 minus 3, which is 2. Okay, now that we subtracted, we bring down the 6. We bring down the 6, which is going to be 6. Okay, now again we have to say 26 divided by 3. How many times does 3 get into 26? It goes 8 times. Okay, it goes 8 times. Now we multiplied, and then what do? We subtract again. Let's multiply. Let's say 3 multiplied by 8 is 24. So we're gonna place 24 here. Okay, now that we multiplied, we subtract. 26 minus 24 is what? Is actually 2. Then we place 2 there, and then we bring down the 2 again. Okay, so now we have to say 22 divided by 3. How many times does 3 get into 22? It goes 7 times. Okay, it goes 7 times. And then now we start the process again. We have to say okay, we divided. Now we multiply. We have to say 3 multiplied by 7, which is 21. Remember to put a negative sign here. Now 22 minus 21 is 1, and then remainder 1, which means 562 divided by 3, it goes that times, remainder 1. Okay, so just remember this method. We are going to use it to solve out our problem here. Okay, go back and revise this method. It's going to be easy for you to do this problem here. All right, so but before we do that, remember that we need to find a number that when we substitute it on the x, our equation will be is equals to 0. Now for the purpose of this video, if we substitute -1, into this equation, you can try it out on your calculator, you are going to get 0. Now that we used x -1, you have to express it this way. You have to say x plus 1 instead. If we used 1, then we are going to say fx is equals to x minus 1. It's just vice versa. If you use -1, here is +1. If you use -1, here is +1. If you use -1, if you use 1, this is -1. Okay, now this is what we are going to do. You place it here, your x plus 1, you place it here, and then inside you place the equation that they gave you. Okay, all right. Now remember daddy, mommy, sister, brother, which is division, multiply, subtract, and bring down. Okay, so we are going to deal with it individually. Now we know that when we say x3 divided by x, because it's x to the power 3 divided by x, we know that our answer will be x squared. Okay, so we place x squared here. Now we do what? We multiply this equation with x squared. What do? We have to say x plus 1 multiplied by x squared, and then we know that we have to say x squared multiplied by x, which is going to be what? Which is going to be x cubed, right? Now x squared multiplied by 1 is going to be what? Positive x squared. And then this is it. Now remember, we were dividing. Now we multiplied. Remember to put a negative here. Remember to put a negative there. Now we have to say x cubed minus x cubed, then it's going to be 0. Now we have to say negative x squared minus positive x squared. So this is how it goes. We have negative x squared minus what? Minus x squared, like this, of which is the same as this. And then we know that this gives us negative 2x squared. So we place negative 2x squared here. Okay, now that we dealt with these two, what do? We bring down. Remember, we were subtracting here. Now we bring down the negative 5x. We bring it back now. Okay, so now we continue. We say negative 2x squared divided by x. Remember, we start the process again of dividing. Now with that, we know that we are going to be left with negative 2x, okay, because x cancel x, and then we're going to be left with 1x, and then we're going to write negative 2x here. Okay, what were we doing? We divided. And then, which means let me just do a quick check. Oh no, we don't write it here. We write it here. Negative 2x, okay, negative 2x. Now we have to repeat the process again and say x plus 1 multiplied by negative what? Negative 2x. Now if we say negative 2x multiplied by 2x, we're gonna get negative 2x squared. Negative 2x squared. Negative 2x squared. And then we say negative 2x multiplied by 1. What is it? It's negative 2x. It's negative 2x. Remember, we are dealing with this. We were multiplying, and then this is what we got. After multiplying, then we subtract. Okay, we subtract. Remember, we are still having negative here. Now we have to say negative, let me write it down, negative 2x squared. Okay, sorry about that. Negative 2x squared minus, remember, negative 2x squared minus what? Minus 2x squared. So we're going to have a positive here. Of which they are going to subtract each other. So basically we have just 0. Now let us deal with this. We have, let me do it that side. We have negative 5x. Negative 5x minus what? Minus 2x. Now negative 5x plus 2x, we know that we're going to be left with negative 3x. So it's going to be negative 3x here. Okay. Now we go back again and start. Now we divide negative 3x divided by x, which is that one. And then we're going to have negative 3. So we write negative 3 here. We write negative 3. And then now we divide it. Now we multiply. We have to say x plus 1 multiplied by negative 3. And then we know that when we multiply this, negative x multiplied by 3, we get negative 3x. Negative 3x. Okay, negative 3x. And then negative 3 multiplied by 1 is going to be negative 3. Okay, now that we multiplied, we do what? We subtract. And then we forgot to bring down the negative 3. Yes, after we divided, and then we got this. Now we have to bring down the last 3 here. We bring it down, then we bring it here. So remember, this is what we have for now. Now negative 3, let us write it here. Negative 3x, which is this one, minus what? Minus into minus 3x. Now they're going to cancel each other, so these two will cancel each other. Now what about 3? It's going to be negative 3 minus negative 3 minus minus 3. They are going to cancel each other out again, so we have 0. We have a 0. Yes, we have a 0. Now this is the answer that we are looking for, but we need to prove it if it's right. So our final answer will be x plus 1, x squared minus 2x minus 3. This is the answer that we are looking for. Since it's correct, but let us try it out. We know that this is the process that we need to do to prove if we're gonna get the very same question that we were given. X multiplied by x squared is going to be x cubed. X multiplied by 2x is going to be negative 2x squared. X multiplied by negative 3 is going to be minus 3x. Now x multiplied by 1 multiplied by x squared is going to be plus x squared. Now 1 multiplied by negative 2x is negative 2x. 1 multiplied by negative 3 is negative 3. Now this is what we have for now. X cubed, these two, they will subtract each other, which is going to be negative x square. Now this and this, they will give us negative 3, negative 2x, they will give us negative 5x. Okay, now we are left with negative 3. Let's see if this is the question that we were given. If we look at this, is the same as our problem. If they are the same, then it means everything that we did here is correct. Please watch this video 100 times if you have to, and try to understand every step that we took, and please revise this one. If you understand this one perfectly, and then it's going to help you to do this one very, very perfectly.